Welcome, everyone. This is Brittany Miller with Raising Special Kids, and I'm so excited to be back for this week's Facebook Live series for our Here for Families broadcast. Today, we have a really sweet topic I'm really excited about. This time of year, it always inspires us to be more thankful. And together, my colleague Jenny Gibbons and I, we're going to be talking about some ways that we can be grateful as special needs parents raising children with disabilities. So before we get into this topic, I'm so grateful to be back. I hope everyone has had a good week. We know things are getting hard again. According to the numbers, COVID is rising and our phone is starting to ring off the hook again with families needing support with special education concerns. And we're here for you. So don't forget to call us. If your child is back to virtual learning or is still in virtual learning and you need assistance, Raising Special Kids is here for you, and our family support team can teach you how to work with your child's school and talk to the IEP team and figure out how to make distance learning more possible for your kiddo at home. And as we get started, we'll go ahead and put our referral link in the comments. Our phone number at Raising Special Kids, it's 602-242-4366. But just remember that Raising Special Kids is here for you to help you navigate all of this, difficult time with our kids at home, trying to get through remote learning together. Welcome again for those just jumping on. We're grateful that you're here today. As a way of an update for the organization, obviously I just mentioned we've been busy helping families. We also have an exciting announcement. This week, we have launched our annual campaign. As you know, we serve our Arizona community and we rely on families and organizations and people in the community to help us continue doing the work we do in supporting families raising children with disabilities. We're really excited about our theme this year, and I especially am. It's Together We Can. So together we can do many incredible things for our Arizona families. We can help children with disabilities. We can inspire hope. We can empower parents. We can unite our communities. And together we can do that with your support. So if you're feeling inclined in this season of giving, check out the donation link. We are just posting it in the comments for today's broadcast, and we would really be grateful. So let's go ahead and get started. I am so excited about today's topic. Many of you know I'm a special needs mom, and I've shared bits of my story as I've hosted this Facebook Live, but I think it's very important for us to kind of refocus at times and focus on what we're blessed with and have gratitude. So I'd like to welcome Jenny Gibbons. She is my colleague here at Raising Special Kids. She's also a longtime friend of mine, so the perfect person to do this broadcast on gratitude today. So welcome, Jenny.
Thanks, Brittany. I'm so glad to be here. This is my first time, so I'm really excited.
Well, you're going to be wonderful, and I know our community is going to be happy to put a face to a name because you help so many families as they call into Raising Special Kids. So to prep for this Facebook Live today, Jenny knows, we reached out into our community and we asked parents, as a special needs parent or as a parent raising a child with a medical issue, what are some things that you're grateful for? And you guys, there were hundreds. I posted this in several different local groups, some even disability specific on my own personal page, because I wanted to hear from families. And it was so heartwarming. And some of the comments made me laugh, and you're going to hear about those in a few minutes. And some of them admittedly made me tear up a little bit because it brought back memories or feelings that I've had. But I think it's going to be really heartwarming for us to go through this list and to sprinkle in some of our stories raising children with disabilities. So Jenny, I'm going to kick us off.
Great.
Okay, so number one, and this made me laugh really hard because it's actually one of the things I'm most grateful for. This person said, I am actually really grateful for caffeine.
And I said, hear, hear.
Cheers. For any of you that have never been to the Raising Special Kids office, if you looked at me and Jenny's desk, you would find Diet Dr. Pepper on the desk. And often we would actually accidentally steal each other's from the office fridge. But yes, being a special needs parent, we're often tired. And I admit that the local soda shop by my house knows my car and knows my order when I pull up. So that was definitely one that I related to.
That's great. Well, I loved the next one where she says, first and foremost, I'm grateful for my son's medical team. And again, I thought, I agree wholeheartedly. What would we do without those great doctors who are helping us and listening to us. That to me is the thing that's so critical for a good doctor. And she also talked about sharing her struggles and triumphs with friends, and of course, a Sonic Diet Coke. So I feel kinship to this woman.
Me too, definitely. The next one on the list is something that I definitely agree with as well, and I'm sure you will too, is this mother is so grateful for the state of the art medical care we have here. And yes, I am so thankful that we have access to several children's hospitals in our state. And my daughter's been able to receive services. It's a 40-minute drive from my home, and she's had a medical team that can help her with her rare diagnosis, and she's thriving. Another part of this comment from this particular parent, which I really loved and wanted to bring up, is she says, I'm thankful for Arizona's long-term care system. Yes, I am too. We are so blessed to live in a state that has agencies and services and supports that help us as we're raising our children with disabilities and medical issues. And we don't have as many financial hardships because of these programs. So I am definitely grateful as well.
I agree. So the next one says, finding a friend who understands and can help. We help each other. And this, of course, made me think of Brittany. And interestingly, Brittany and I became friends 7 years ago this month. And I wouldn't know that if it weren't for Facebook. So I just saw that last night, and I thought that was really fun. Someone early on said to me, meet parents who have a different diagnosis than you do and connect in the state so you can access the information they have about services. That was one of the very best pieces of advice I took. And Brittany was one of the very first moms I met. So thanks for being my friend.
Ditto. And in all seriousness, this is a topic I have a hard time talking about without getting emotional, because as you know, it can be lonely raising a child with a disability. And often, as much as our family and friends want to understand, sometimes they just can't, and it's not their fault. It's just, that's what we've been dealt with. And so connecting, living in an age where we have social media, where we can join those local Facebook groups, find each other, call Raising Special Kids and get connected with a parent mentor, and find friends who get your life. Even if it's not exactly the same, we can have empathy. So I agree. I'm very thankful for that one as well, and for you, of course. I really liked this one too, and I think I need to take this advice. This is from a dad, actually. He shared, I'm grateful that we live life at a slower pace. It helps us really take in and enjoy the little things and the big things. And that is true. In our own family, I don't know if we live at a slower pace necessarily. I feel like I'm really busy, but I have learned to count little things as big things. For my daughter, who is very globally delayed, anytime she meets a milestone, it's like we hit the jackpot, and it's such a big deal. And I don't take those milestones for granted. And I've really enjoyed not feeling like we always have to leave the home, because sometimes it's hard, packing up all her medical stuff and travel, planning for wherever we're gonna go. And especially during this time of COVID, we have a lot of togetherness, but I am grateful for those times. And I agree, it is nice to just know that we're learning not to take life for granted as we're raising our kids.
That's a great one. So the next one says community resources and connections. You kind of see a theme here. The connections are so important. But I love that this person acknowledged their local neighborhood, as well as nonprofits and other services. Arizona has some really amazing nonprofits that do great work. And I'm also really grateful for those nonprofits. And then the person ends with also the Empowerment Scholarship, the ESA program that they're grateful for. And I don't personally use that, but I get to help families access that. And I know how valuable it is for a lot of Arizona families, especially right now in COVID.
Definitely. Our state really has a lot to offer. We're definitely blessed. Another mom, and this one actually hits home to me because it's from an epilepsy parent. She says, I'm thankful to live in Arizona, where Mercy Care takes all of my daughter's many anti-epileptic medications. And yes, just the peace of mind in knowing we have insurance, programs that can help us with our expensive, medical kiddos, definitely a blessing.
And here's another soul sister of mine. She says, I am so grateful that we can get things delivered in life. between Amazon, Walgreens delivery, all the food deliveries, Uber Eats and PCH Pharmacy delivery. She says we're pretty much covered. And I thought that is exactly right. I love the conveniences we have right now. I don't take them for granted. I probably would have a few years ago been like, oh, that's nice. But there's times when just getting out is really challenging. And so those can be kind of life-saving. I know I sound like I'm overstating it, but that's
Oh
how we
no.
feel sometimes.
Oh no. I love it as well. In fact, I remember when the local Walmart started offering, online ordering, grocery pickup. Brooke was a baby, and it was like life changing. Not have to get 3 little kids under the age of 5 and one with severe epilepsy out of the car. It changed my life. And then now during COVID, we can be safe at home, but still have those conveniences we need. So, it, not to make light of it, but I told my husband, if I'm going to be in a pandemic, I'm grateful we have the modern conveniences we do to help us keep on living and keep on going.
That's the truth.
Okay, and this one was really sweet. This parent said, "Today I'm thankful for my partner," and this was her husband in particular. "I would be in a terrible state if it wasn't for him, reminding me constantly of the unique beauty of imperfect." And that's a good one.
That's a
You
great
know,
one.
not all of us parents raising children with disabilities have a partner or have a spouse, and I commend you, because it's raising a child with medical issues is very hard. And for those strong parents doing it on their own, know that we care and that we're here for you. And I hope you have connections in your life to help you get through it. And I am very thankful for my husband being there for me as we've navigated this journey.
And I love that, seeing the beauty in imperfection,
Mm-hmm.
because we all need to see that. So I appreciated that one.
Me too.
This one's so darling. She says, my real gratitude is for my daughter's best day ever attitude every single day. And that made me think of my daughter, who comes in every day smiling and happy and ready and willing to try again. And I think a lot of that is learned from her therapists and from her amazing teachers, and just a core part of who she is. But I really appreciate that best day ever attitude for in my world too.
Definitely. She is a ray of sunshine. And I think our kids just come with these incredible, brave spirits that teach us a lot as we get to raise them, for sure. This is another tender one for me. I promised that I wouldn't cry during Facebook Live, but I'm going to try. So this one hits home. It says, this mother says, "I'm grateful for my daughter's influence on her sisters. She has taught them empathy, kindness, strength, to look for answers outside of the box, and that different is okay, to look for the positive in everything and shape their future careers in caring for others." And in my household, there are 4 girls, and my older 2 help me so much with their little sister who has disabilities. And of course, we have the regular teen drama and sibling rivalries and all of that, but there's also so much love. And I know a lot of that has been shaped by having a sister who has trials and then them having to serve her. And one of my daughters wants to be a nurse and the other one is thinking about teaching. And I know some of those choices are happening because of being around their sister and helping care for her.
One of my mother-in-law's famous quotes is, we serve who we love and we love who we serve. And I think that's really true. And serving each other is the most important in a family. And it's neat to think of those opportunities. All right. The next one says, progress of any kind, unconditional love, and seeing life differently in his lens. And I agree that progress is so amazing. I remember my daughter was 3, almost 4, and we had put a little step stool in the front room for her to practice physical therapy, the step up. And it was this time of year. And I remember every time anyone came into my home, we would wait and have her show them that she could step up on that stool. And we were so thrilled with that progress and how long we had worked on it. And it made a really special memory. So every time the weather kind of changes and it cools off, I remember that stepping stone quite literally in our lives. And I appreciate it.
I love that so much. I remember when I first met with my daughter's AZIP early intervention team, and they were like, what goals do you have for her? What do you want her to achieve? And for some reason, I was so fixated on, I just want her to be able to sit up. didn't care about anything else, but I wanted her not to live life on her back, because I know that your quality of life is so impacted by that. And as she was graduating early intervention, she did achieve the ability to sit up and still can. And it was huge. And for some, that may not seem like a big deal, but for us, it really meant everything.
That progress of any kind, we'll take it.
For sure. This is another really good one. For those who have children who maybe have feeding issues or sensory issues or feeding tubes, you may relate to this one. I'm grateful for things that people do without thinking about it every day. I still get excited to see my child eat food. I love that one. How many hours of feeding therapy have some of our kiddos been in? And just to see them swallow normally and take a sip out of a bottle or a cup, it's huge for some families. And to see the little blessing in that is amazing. And this parent also shared, and I love hearing this, I'm grateful for less doctor's appointments and less hospitalizations. I'm so glad to hear that this kiddo is doing better and is much healthier.
Yeah. All right, the next one says, I'm grateful for our son's incredible sense of humor, his kind heart that others often do not see, and all the many life lessons he has taught us that no one else could. And I think that's a universal truth. We all have learned lessons we didn't expect from our children who have a disability and that are specific to each of our families.
Definitely. I can relate to that one as well. This next one is tender also. It says, I'm thankful for the hard days that test our strengths and abilities. I know that might sound crazy, but it's what keeps us going. The ability to look back and realize how far we've come. People that know me, I've shared this before. I always say, special needs parenting is the most wonderful club I never wanted to be a part of, but now I can't live without. And I really mean that, having a child come into our family that we did not expect to have such extensive medical issues and disabilities and, the trials and endless appointments and therapies, it can be a lot, but I can look back and see how far we've come, and we're a different family and I'm a different person. And I am thankful for the struggles and it's, the strength that admits the struggle, for sure.
That resilience that comes from once you realize that a new struggle's coming and you take it head on, then when the next one comes, you're more resilient, you're more ready for it. It is like a muscle that builds for those of us who have a child with a disability, I think.
Yes, and we have so many incredible families that call into Raising Special Kids, and we just hear about their stories and their journeys, and it's pretty amazing.
Absolutely. All right, the next one is that big developmental leap your kid made, or that small leap that only you noticed, or the way that although there was no leap, there was no backslide, or the way that the backslide was really not so significant, or the way that the huge backslide makes room for new gains. I loved this one.
Me too.
Like, exactly. We're going to find the light. We're going to find the right way to go about this and enjoy it regardless.
I like that one. That one makes me smile. The next one I know every parent listening here will resonate with. Sleep. If you manage to get any, that's something to be thankful for. I'm going to say amen. So over the 10 years that we've had my daughter, actually 11, she just turned 11 the other day. She gets up every night in the night, and she's a sweetheart, and I'm grateful I get to serve her, but being tired is just a badge I wear. And I know many parents listening in do. And so when we do get that rare sleep or we get to take a nap, man, we are thankful for that.
Exactly. All right. The next one is the people at school who help and appreciate your child. And I cannot help but think of my daughter's one-on-one aides over the years who have literally kept her alive, outthought her creative manipulations, and really been ready for her in ways that they didn't expect to have to be ready. So I agree that people at school are critical. Teachers are amazing. Aides, I love you. Just lots of great supports for our kids, and thank you for that.
Yes, and the people that choose to work in the field with our kids with disabilities, you matter so much to us. Sending our children to school, it can be scary when they have a lot going on medically, and just knowing that they're in good, loving hands means everything.
Absolutely.
And this goes another very good, valuable one. It's kind of a tool that we learn along the way. the education we receive from all the research done into our child's disability, their needs, and all the opportunities that come. Surely one day there'll be a life experience degree, right? And I sign me up for that one. I would love that. You know,
That would be cool.
I know, right? I've joked around that, you know, I'm a pharmacist, a mom, a doctor, a chauffeur, a therapist, a social worker, you know, all the different hats you wear. And if you get me in a conversation talking about seizure meds, I kind of nerd out, and almost people are like, why does she know so much about that? But you vest your energy and time into learning everything you can to help your child. And hey, I think that extra knowledge is it's wonderful how in however way you use it. And we definitely learn a lot that we probably never thought we would ever have to learn about.
Exactly. And I'm so grateful that we can sit at home and go online and research things. We have older adults in our support group, and those parents really paved the way without the internet. And they had to gut it out at every doctor's appointment and learn. They didn't have the supports that we have, and I'm really grateful for the internet in my life.
Me
For a
too.
lot of reasons.
It can be a lifeline.
Yeah. So the next one is the one food your kid will eat, better than nothing. That would crack me up.
Yes. I love that one. Hey, at least they're eating right. Okay. This one made me laugh too. We're lightening things up in these questions. This parent shares, I'm grateful for insurance companies for helping you hone your stellar phone advocacy skills. Oh yeah. How many hours have we spent on the phone resubmitting scripts from doctors, finding out when equipment's going to be delivered, you know, begging for them to cover your child's medication. I think special needs parents are pretty good phone advocates.
Absolutely. All right. And the next one says, I'm grateful for the friends that I have only because of my child's diagnosis. Our children brought us together, but our friendships are about so much more than that now. I couldn't agree more.
I love that one. I love that one so much. And to wrap things up, I'm going to leave you guys with this last one that's really sweet and really just sets the tone on the many, many, many ways we can find blessings in our lives raising children with disabilities. So I'm just going to read it word for word. This parent says, I'm grateful for the life perspective that being a special needs parent gives me. I've learned what's truly important, and I'm clear about my true priorities. I feel like my life is richer and deeper because she's taught me to stay in the moment, search for joy even during tough times, and spotlight what kind of person I want to be.
Well said.
I know. I love that one so much. Thank you, families listening in. Thank you for being who you are and being good examples to us. You know, raising special kids, when we have the privilege of helping you and hearing your stories and learning from your strength and helping you through some of these complex situations and trials, it really is fulfilling. And I'm sure Jenny could agree that we are so fortunate to be able to serve our community and connect with all these amazing families across our state who are in our shoes and doing this and raising their children with disabilities as well. And so I wanted to end our Facebook Live today with a thank you. We are grateful for you. We're grateful for our Arizona community and the continuous support they give raising special kids. We're thankful for our connections with all of you wonderful parents. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful weekend and we'll see you next time.
Happy Thanksgiving.